top paragraph?
The top section, right.
What's the first word on the line?
Okay, I'll say in a second to decide where we're going to start. We'll start on the line that begins V'hainu. It's not much further than when we started this morning. 6 lines from the bottom of the top section. And the reason we're going back every time, I may be repeating this a lot of times, is because there are a lot of these words are numbered, and each word is a whole world. And I'd like that we should sense the significance of what is being taught over here. Okay, so in brief, the oiros amislabesh in the keli. Again, oiros. What is oiros? Oir is that which represents atzmos. We don't like to go into discussing oiros at a more detailed level because it's extremely difficult to really conceptualize it and understand it, and certainly to go into kind of details. But I would like, nevertheless, from time to time, oir, and again, in our day, it's extremely important that we understand that when we talk about it, we're not talking about energy generated by combustion. Oir is a manifestation of an atzmi. It's the manifestation of an atzmi. It's called oir. Atzmi we discussed last week and said atzmi is an extremely elusive concept. I think Sandra discussed it. But again, within the confines of the world, there is no such thing as an atzmi. Atzmi is exclusively present because this is something that Hashem created as a real presence, as a reality. Like we say all the time, the human being has a real presence in the world. Not just a functional presence. Thank you very much. The human being, his presence in the world is paramount for the world itself. Without the human being, the world is worth nothing. Sense for nothing. Doesn't have a sense of reality. In a manner of kind of a play, without the human being, the world is like a chicken without a head. I didn't want to say anything worse than that. The whole head, the whole significance of this creature is missing. And what is a human being? How does a human being all of a sudden get that kind of of a true presence? He acquired it by practice, by learning, by of pursuit? No. He was granted it by his Creator. He was given by his Creator a position in the world, a duty and a mission in the world that literally puts him in charge of the world. Of the whole world. And the whole world then represents the human being. This is Atzam. Atzam means he has a true presence, not a functional presence. To illustrate the concept of Atzam in a pointed way, a human being, a child is born, or a person is at an extreme old age, he is in the last moments of his life, where functionally he cannot contribute anything to the world. He can't even orient himself. He's so completely weak. He's lying on a bed in last moments. He is fully alive by halach. And God forbid somebody shortens these few moments of his life, he is guilty of murder. Clearly this is not due to the fact, he could have been producing something during these moments. His presence is maintaining the world in its present state. His very presence. I started saying about a child. This is why when a child is born, at the moment of birth, when he is totally incapable of anything, at best if he is able to suckle, oh wow, he's great. It's nothing. And at that moment we give him a name, which means we identify his presence in the world as real. That's what our name stands for. That's what a human being is. The same, we've illustrated something perhaps even easier for us to relate and to understand. If you own a home, or you own an apartment, makes a difference. The place of your residence, you automatically fill and occupy every last inch of that residence. You don't have to visit each place and touch it. Like I gave the very poignant point in illustration. You want to expand this house by building a wall 6 feet out and taking this wall down. Now your house is 6 feet wider. It's a huge addition. Do you have to then do anything to occupy the additional 6 feet? Your presence fills the other 6 feet, not instantaneously, but automatically. Because that's what the house is. The house stands for your presence. This is called oyer. The presence of an atzma is called oyer. Oyer Eliki brings the presence of atzmos to Gila, to the world. This Oyer Eliki, because of its representation of representing atzmos, this has the power of atzmos. Atzmos has the koyach to create a yesh me'ayin, totally novel presence, without any any assistance from anything, without any prior material from which to build it. He creates yesh me'ayin. This oil represents that quality. And then, but the creation from this oil directly would be a non-worldly creation, because it's oil, it's atzma, it's alakus. In order to have a worldly, consists of multiple things and so forth. This is why it descends until it comes into kelim. Kalim, this is what defines certain functionalities within this oil. Like we gave an example. A cup is a keli for water. Water exists for for a huge other function. Many functions. Then when you put water into a cup, the cup and the water kind of unite, and it changes it reveals in the water a certain specific function. The function of a human being drinking the water, which is revealed in the water through the cup. Because for a human being to drink water directly from the lake is inappropriate. As we spoke many times, I don't want to. The water has to be presented to him, saying, this is for you to drink. And that happens when the water is in the cup. That water now is drinking water. It's not plain water. It's drinking water for a human being. And that was revealed. This is not something which is added to the water. The water always had that capacity. But this has now been isolated and revealed in the water through the keli of the cup, through the function of the cup. Yeah.
Can a person's hand be considered the cup?
No. This is not the problem.
Put water to your mouth and from a
You
lake.
could. I'm saying you can drink water from a basin. This is not appropriate. A human being, because he is king in the world, everything that he needs to partake of has to be something which is presented to him in a respectable and an easy to access manner, which is why we sit by the table and cheers, because the whole world is made. I don't want to go into this as much. We all understand, I think, the principle enough. That's when halachically we say a human being has to watch his glory, his kovod. And to eat in the street, walking around, is not appropriate for a human being, but he can eat it. But that's not appropriate. It's insulting to his stature. Not only that, but a human being doesn't eat and drink without making a bracha first. Because to say to a human being, hey, there is water someplace, food someplace in the world, go and eat the worldly food. Me? I'm a godly creature. I don't need worldly food. If God gave it to me to eat, I'll eat it. That's what a bracha essentially is. Don't descend to the ground and crawl on the ground like the cockroach. This is not now new. We discussed this many times. Coming back, this is Pshat HaEtzem, and this is Pshat the oil HaEtzem, and then there is the Nir HaKelim. The oil HaEtzem is mislabish in Kelim, and by this Hislapshus, the creation, the creative power that is in the oil HaAtzmi is revealed in a manner that it can create a world, a finite entity. A Metzias Yesh. Without the Keli, it would not be Metzias Yesh. It would be an oil level creation. This is the significance of the oil being mislavish in the keli and coming through the keli, enabling the creation of a mitzvah yesh. How does that occur more specifically? The oil is mislavish in the keli, which means that what? That it becomes like the keli. If it becomes like the keli, then it loses the oil effect. The oil power becomes like the keli. Finite. How does it create through the keli? The keli limits the oil, the keli redefines the oil in its image, and the oil functions like the keli, the oil functions like keli. So how is it then able to create? But this we say, okay, this is the extremely subtle, and this is the oil is mislavish in the keli, but it stands begilu in the keli. It does not limit the oil in terms of expressing itself. In a limited fashion, where it expresses fully what the oil is. Like we said this morning, we use a very simple illustration of this principle. The neshama is in the goof. Goof is a lifeless material, piece of meat and bone. The neshama is in the goof, and the goof lives. The goof lives in the true sense. It's sensitive. It manifests neshama qualities on a goof level, literal neshama qualities. It isn't that the neshama activates the goof. It's able to move and do certain things. No. The goof becomes sensitive fully to everything that it touches. Which means the neshama is fully mislavish in the goof. But then at the same time, there's a neshama level function in it. Sensitivity is a neshama level function, not a goof level function. A goof at best can feel heat, can feel hardness if something hits him. But to feel sensitivity, fine, what is the head goof? How is the goof affected by this? This is not a goof thing. The famous illustration, you wet your finger and hold it up against the atmosphere and you say, where is the wind coming from? That is not by affecting the thing. That is a sensitivity, a very fine sensitivity. That's a neshama level of sensitivity. Because the neshama is begilu in the goof. And here is where we have this dilemma. It's difficulty. Not because it's a difficult akasha, but because it's incumbent upon us to understand this subtlety over here. The neshama is mislavish in the goof and becomes like the goof. And yet still, and limited like the goof, because it gives chayas to a finger and to a foot and to a nail, don't limit the thing. At the same time, there's a neshama element functioning almost unlimited by the goof. Because the sensitivities that it brings to the goof are not goof level sensitivities. It's the neshama level of sensitivity. As if the neshama is functioning independent of the goof. But it's not independent. It's mislavish in the goof. For this, the Rebbe explains that, okay, and this is the line where we're starting, behind, okay, 6 lines from the bottom of page Yud Gimel.
We're explaining now how this neshama is...
Oh, no, don't stop me now. Behind, לפי שהכלים בטלים על האוירס. That is due to the fact that the kelim are bottled to the oiris.
Of the top paragraph.
Yeah, the top section.
Bottom of the top.
Yeah, he knows what it is. Hakelim b'telim al oiris, which means the oil is mislavish in the keli, but the keli makes itself totally inobtrusive. Puts itself into a second level, secondary level. And the keli presents, recognizes, and gives the oil a presence, a position of being a primary presence rather than the keli presence. It means bottle al oiris. The keli bottle al oiris means, that the keli says the oil is mislavish in the keli, and the keli holds on to it. The oil that's in me is more important than I. Between bottle and oil.
Rabbi Paltiel?
Yeah, just 1 second. I'm just want to make sure I finish this statement. The keli is a bottle to the oil, which means the keli gives priority to the oil that's in it over itself. Thereby permitting the oil to function unrestricted, as if it were not in a keli, even though it functions within the confines of the keli. But the keli does not impose anything. The oil functions within the confines of the keli, but it functions as a free man, so to speak, using its own parameters, its own definition of function. It's a phenomenal thing. The kelim are bottled to the oil, which means, as I said, bottled to means he gives the oil priority over itself. Yeah, I'm a kelim to the oil, but the most important thing in me is the fact that I'm a kelim to the oil. That I have the oil in me. That's the most important thing. Not that I have a kelim. What's the most important thing in the brain? The brain or the seichel that's in the brain? The brain itself recognizes that the seichel that's mislavish in the brain, that is its big yichus. Which is its big yichus. That's in the brain, and this is in all other functional other koiches in the hand, in the human body. Okay. Next sentence. V'heim ru'uyim lekabel as hoiris.
Rabbi Paltiel?
Oh, yes, I didn't forget you. This is all one thought. The kelim are bottled to the oil. As I said, the kelim are bottled means they give priority to the oil. V'heim ru'uyim lekabel as oiris, and they are fit, they're suited to receive the oils. What does that mean? They're kelim, they're ru'uyim lekabel as oiris. If there were any kind of a competition between the kelim and the oil, and the oil had to superimpose itself on the keli, there would not be such a relationship. The kelim are roi. Roi means fit. the surah. They deserve to receive the oil. How do we see that? They're bottled to the oil. They give the oil a priority over themselves. They're bottled to the oil because they appreciate what this oil is, and that's why they're fit. They deserve to receive this oil. Okay, well, this is why the oilers can find total their total presence, their total revelation in the kelim, and so forth. Okay, Baruch, yes, your turn.
Well, this is sort of like a question from a few short ago, but it's relevant to what we're talking about, I think. So you use the term sometimes the kelim grasp the oil. But you've said two things, and I want to know how to understand them together. One thing is that really the kalim don't grasp the oil. It's not like the kalim actively are grasping oil, similar to we don't actively breathe. It's breathed into us. Other times you said the kalim do grasp the oil. Sounds like it's a different way of saying that they're describing this hislapshus, that the oil fills every little part of the keli, and the keli absorbs it. I mean, both of those things, the term grasp is used, and sometimes you're saying it's not grasping, and sometimes you're saying it is. That's the point, I think.
Right.
I'm clear on.
Right. The word grasp does seem to be implying that the kelim grasp the oil and they do not allow the oil to function independently of the kelim, by itself, in its own mode. Which is true, because when the kelim, the oil is mislabish in the kelim, the oil will function within the limits of the kelim. 100%. The hand is able to move. There's a limit in the speed of movement for the hand that the hand can tolerate. The oil is not limited by that speed, by that limit. And yet the oil will not give the hand a sense of movement beyond that which the hand allows it. So the hand is toifus as oil. So from that perspective, this would seem to be that the result of that would be that the oil is limited by the hand, which would mean, taking a step further, which would mean that the oil is limiting itself to give the hand only that which is meaningful to the hand. If the oil gives the hand only that which is meaningful to the hand, then the oil is confining itself to the level of intelligence of the hand. So the oil is not begilui, then the oil cannot express it, does not express itself to the fullest. But we say no, the oil is expressing itself to the fullest, it's begilui. And that seems to be contradictory if the hand is toifus as oil. To this the answer is, the hand is toifus as oil, but it makes sure that the oil will function at its level, at the oil level, and will be begil, but permitted to be fully begil, because the keli is bottled to the oil. It appreciates the oil in the food, what the oil is, and it urges the oil to function. Tell me what you are, and make it possible for me also to act on that level. But tell me what you are. Like I said, the kelim are bottled to the oil to the extent that they give more form priority to the oil over the kelim. I'll give you an illustration of this concept. It's a little bit of a painful type of illustration, but you're allowed to go there just to understand the concept. God forbid somebody has some kind of illness, gout in the foot. Foot is really infected, and it's spreading, and if it's not contained, it'll reach the heart and it's going to destroy the person. In last resort, if that can't be contained, the last resort of that is to keep the person alive. The foot has to be amputated. In order to what? To save the life element in the person. Who makes that decision that we should amputate the leg in order to save the life element in the person? The brain. The chayes hanefesh in the brain. The brain is agashmi. The brain is containing toifis as ha'oir. Therefore, the brain has a dilemma over here. I'm giving up a piece of my body in order to allow the nefesh to function. What am I doing? The heck with the nefesh, I want to have my full body. The brain is a physical. The brain belongs in the body. Everybody understands that this would never happen, because despite the fact that the brain is physical, the nefesh is muslabish in the brain, in the physical brain, and the brain appreciates the nefesh priority over itself. I'd rather have the nefesh in whatever manner I can, and even if I have to lose part of my body. Right? Because the keli is bottled to the oil. I think there's a bug over here. Okay. Sure, okay. Baruch?
I'm here.
Are you
Hello?
satisfied? Yes, are you satisfied?
Yeah, that's good.
Good. Baruch Hashem.
I just wanted to hear you talk about it a little.
Okay. Would you like to hear some more?
No, it's good.
That's good, Baruch. This goes together. Hakelim b'telim al ha'oiris, v'heim ru'uyim l'kabel as ha'oiris. The kelim are royal l'kabel as ha'oiris. Because the kelim have that kind of that they give priority to the oil. It's a beautiful hand. But what is the primary aspect of the hand? What it can do? Not its intricate construction. Not its beauty, none of that. Its physical structure, which is extremely intricate and extremely sensitive, nuanced. All kinds of little screws, all kinds of little connections. All that is not to show the complexity of the hand, but to enable the hand to be received the koyach hanefesh. That's what it's all about. This is hand, this is keli, this is nefesh, two different worlds. The keli is royal kabat, and it's royal to such an extent that it, as I said, it gives priority to the oil. I had to mention this, but it is something which always impressed me phenomenally. My mother-in-law, so gesund sein, got arthritis in her fingers many years ago. And she was still relatively a young woman. This arthritic thing disformed her fingers. Almost disformed her fingers. This did not limit her the functionality in the hand a bit. She's still the same gourmet cook. She's still the same writer. Everything, absolutely everything. Because the keli is bottle of oil. She would be easy the other day, but the keli adjusts. It follows the directions of the oil.
You started by saying that the hand is limited in its speed. I don't understand how that does limit or doesn't limit it.
Yes, sure it's limited. Yeah, of course. If you give the full force of the oil, the keli would not last a minute.
Hurts.
Huh?
Hurts.
It wouldn't last. You wouldn't be able to take it. On the other hand, the oil is mislavish in the hand, in the keli, to the fullest with gili, where it appears almost that it's not a physical entity that's moving, that's functioning. It's a ruch nishiyah. Like I mentioned several times over these days I've been discussing this in. You walk down the staircase. A young person walks down the staircase. He hardly touches the stairs. Of course he touches the stairs. You can't jump a flight of stairs. But the movement of his legs and the so perfectly coordinated by the oil of movement, koyach halicha. It's as if it's only the ruchnis that's moving, not the gashmis.
So the keli doesn't limit the or. The or is choosing to be on this level, to do these things, even though it's not faster than the body's doing it. The oar's choosing. Okay, well, I want to do it this way.
Yes, of course. Okay. Okay. Now we are at the end of that line behind. The kelim are to receive the oiris. This is a phenomenal thing. The best way that I can illustrate singing is a cup with water. A cup with water is specially designed to hold water for drinking purposes. You can hold water in a pail, in a basin. All kinds of different means of holding water. This is not holding water per se. This is holding water for a specific function. That's the oil. This is the oil. The union that the water is not just plain water, but it has a very meaningful function to let a human being drink in a respectable manner. That's the oil. And the Keli recognizes this. He gives cognizance to this. And here we see the oil. The Keli is truly fit to recover this kind of oil. To receive water in quantity and form that is perfectly suited for human consumption.
This is not called the full force of the earth, though, right?
Yes, it is.
Because then it would break.
No, it won't break.
I heard it twice, so it must be.
Huh?
I heard it twice, so it must be true.
Don't get confused. Let the keli contain the oil.
Yeah.
All right. The oil contains that ability in a much higher level of preparing drinking water for human beings. It has working water, but doesn't have the service, the preparation, the presentation that a human being needs.
Needs?
Huh?
Needs that a human being needs.
Needs, yeah. That's appropriate for a human being. That is provided by the keli. And the oil fills the keli in a manner that will allow the keli to produce the oil in that manner. That's suitable for this function. No different than the oil in the hand that allows a person to write. Which is, writing is the function of the hand, of the fingers. But without the oil HaNefesh, he couldn't do it. Not only without the hand, it's the oil HaNefesh that's doing it. But he slaps us in the fingers. The fingers don't do anything. They're only keli for it. But they're real keli that are suited for this kind of oil. Okay, let's continue. Okay, and therefore, this is why the oils are made shine through. Let's talk about meaning for a moment, since we got into such great detail, you all will be, into it, and hopefully you understand this again. Please understand. The function of writing a decent letter, I'm putting lettering, a decent picture. There is nothing physically demanded that the picture should be drawn in a certain way. There's nothing preventing the hand to write it in any which way you want. Certainly the pencil, there's no physical significance to this form. Where does that form get the significance? This is the oyer. This is the manifestation of your intellect, manifestation of the atzmi, like I said before, of the reality, of the human reality. The cause of the human reality. Therefore, whenever the human being is doing something, it has a human stamp on it. It has a certain beauty, a certain finesse, organization, order. This is the manifestation of the oyer of the Eretz, of the human oyer. This is called Mehiri. There is no tangible thing to it. It's the oyer of the Eretz. And the oyeres are megirim begilui mamash behakeli. They shine through completing the keli. And to what extent? Yesh lahem shlito memshala hakeli manhigim oisa. They have a rulership over the keli. Umanhigim oisa, and they direct them. The oyeres are directing the keli. I said, the keli has no idea, no significance in writing this way or that way. It is the oil that imbues itself in the keli and makes the keli move in a certain way. But by what right does it do that? By what power? By what condition? By the fact that the keli submits itself to the earth and recognizes the supremacy of the oil over itself.
Rabbi Paltiel,
Yeah,
can I ask you something about that, what you just said?
sure.
Is this something which is in the nature of the keli, that by its very nature the keli realizes the oyer is superior, or something else is going on there? This is not like a. It wouldn't seem that this is like a conscious, deliberate decision on the part of the keli. Oh, there's the oyer. I better do what it says. This is like built into the keli.
This is built into the keli.
Already give an answer to this.
When you start describing a conscious and a decision making, we're talking about an independent intelligence. That the keli does not have. But the keli has the sensitivity of the significance of this oil. And therefore, let's step back from this. It came from Beetle, and this is one of those things that again is extremely significant, and the world is totally oblivious to it. But totally. In the world, if one is bottled to the other, there has to be some personal reason why he's bottled. What are you to gain by this relationship? You're afraid of him. You expect some favor. What do you get? What do you to gain? Because the world has gotten accustomed of thinking of everything in the world, including the human being, as essentially inanimate. No sensitivity to anything. No true life. Everything is just a basic personal gain principle. I will do this, so that I will gain this. So everything is circling around the limited presence of this entity. But please, this is totally not true. We have a neshama that recognizes true value, truth, godly truth. Respect. Chassidus talks about that the person who is a chacham, when he's in the vicinity of a great chacham, of a super chacham, he feels totally bottled. Why is he bottled? He's afraid that the chacham will hurt him. Why is he bottled? He's bottled because he senses the significance of wisdom. And that is what he considers all valuable in life. So when he's standing in front of a Chacham Godel, he's bottled. He is a real thing. Just like a candle. An expression, you cannot hold a candle to it, in the presence of sunlight. Why is the candle bottled in the presence of sunlight? The sun is not going to hurt it, not going to extinguish it. Because it's a different kind of light. It sends an awe and respect of that. This is a true phenomenon in the world. And a human being, this is a true neshama element. That's why we speak all the time. The pikach picks the king. He stands in awe of the king, not in awe, in fear, in total beetle. Hey, this is real. This is real life. This is the reality. And by standing in proximity to this reality, I experience reality. In a manner that I could never reach on my own. You're still coming to where this is going to be germane perfectly. This is the pshat, that the keli is a bottle of ha'ir. The keli is a whole mitzvah. But it's bottle of ha'ir. The keli, in and of itself, is a vulnerable. The finger can get a cut, and it's kaput. It's finished. What restores the finger to life when it gets a cut? To wholeness. The life force in it. Which one is that? Okay. This beetle is not beetle out of awe, out of fear. This is a beetle that has the recognition of reality, of godly reality. The oil has a godly reality infinitely superior to that of the keli. This is why the keli is bottle to the oil. Let us go back to the illustration that we said before in the painful illustration. If one's leg has to be amputated, you're losing the leg. What are you doing? For life, but the leg? What are you getting out of life? So much more than having the leg. Missing the leg and missing the life. Right? It's a competition. It's not competition. Life is when I'm connecting to the real thing, to God. The leg is only a facilitator to accomplish something. And without life, there's no point in the leg either. No significance at all. Like we said before, without the human being, the world is nothing. This is one thing that is very impressive in America. It's still a residue of the old America. If there's a person's life in danger, there's no hesitation to take a building down to get to the person if he's still alive. God forbid, in all kinds of situations. No effort is too much to get down to the miners who are under the ground. It costs millions of dollars. If there's a possibility that they're still alive, we don't hesitate. This is, and said this is one of the qualities that remain in America that are infinitely superior to anything else in the world. In the world, there's going to be calculations, it's worth it, how much we invested. Here, Baruch Hashem, there is that human element. Okay. The next 4 words are loaded words, so therefore we'll have to leave it for tomorrow. Okay, Zagison Baruch. Call to.